some imagination. Now, look at this picture.
Since its launch as the world's first schools-based Confucius Institute in 2007, the SSAT has led the way in developing the teaching and learning of Chinese in schools across England. Working closely with our key partners, the SSAT Confucius Institute's core objective is to secure a major expansion in the provision of Chinese throughout the English school system.
The key objective of the SSAT Confucius Institute is to increase the quantity and the quality of Chinese language teaching and learning in this country. We have a strong and key partnership with Hanban, which is the Office for Chinese Teaching International. It works to support organisations around the world who want to develop Chinese language teaching. And we have a second Chinese partner in Peking University, and we're greatly honoured to have that partnership.
Over 3,300 schools in England are affiliated to the SSAT. This experience of working closely with schools has led to the successful development of the SSAT Confucius Institute.
I understand that there are about altogether 3,000 schools have some kind of affiliations with SSAT. So this network helps the establishing Confucius classrooms. And for the schools, SSAT provides excellent service.
The SSAT Confucius Institute currently supports 34 Confucius classrooms in England, and each one is committed to developing the teaching and learning of Chinese within their own school. Through the support of Hanban and SSAT, Confucius classrooms are able to expand their capacity and improve the quality of Chinese teaching.
你可以写一个人的名字，这里写他们常常。
Well, we started teaching Chinese in this school 5 years ago, which was before we became a Confucius classroom. So I did have some support from the head teachers to introduce Chinese. But being a Confucius classroom has given us the resources that we need to extend that and to carry that on into the sixth form, so that we're now teaching in Key Stage 3, Key Stage 4 and Key Stage 5.
Working with the Confucius classrooms and Pearson, and with the support of Hanban, SSAT Confucius Institute has produced high-quality teaching materials written by schools for schools.
When I first started teaching Chinese at the school, there was no SSAT Chinese textbook. In recent years, the Chinese GCSE has been simplified a little bit. That's made my life easier, but also having the book has given me a real structure for a GCSE course. That it's totally geared towards taking the GCSE exam, so it covers the correct topics, it covers the correct structures, whereas before I was having to provide materials for all of this myself to supplement the book that I was using. Now a lot of that I'm able to take out of the book, and that's invaluable to me as a teacher. It saves me lots of time. There's a huge variety of exercises. The book is colourful, it's appealing to the students and looks to them like the kinds of textbooks that they're used to in their other languages, in their French lessons and in their German lessons, so it's familiar to them.
The teaching resources are a collaborative project between ourselves as SSAT Confucius Institute, Peking University and Pearson. We couldn't have put together these teaching resources without being a Confucius Institute, because we, through being a Confucius Institute, gained access through our Confucius classrooms to the best teachers of Chinese, the most experienced teachers of Chinese in the country, and crucially got the support of their head teachers to release them to work with us to develop teaching materials. They are localised teaching materials, i.e. they're for our learners in this country learning Chinese as a foreign language.
We work very closely, as I said, with SSAT, and they have so much experience through the Confucius Institutes of the needs of Chinese teachers, and we have a lot of expertise in producing materials to meet those needs. So we work very closely together, and I think that's the real reason for the success, is that understanding of teachers' needs. I think edXL, GCSE Chinese and Jinbu are unique because they're the first resources that have been written by teachers for teachers in the UK, and in that respect they meet absolutely every need that no other materials have before.
This is crucial because what we want to do is encourage schools to mainstream Chinese, i.e. to bring Chinese right into the school curriculum rather than just having it as an after-school club or an enrichment activity. So the main message about our teaching materials is that they're a real product of a strong partnership.
这个首先我要提到的是我们这个 SSAT 和北大的合作，因为 SSAT 孔子学院是北大这个的一个很重要的项目。那么在我来之前，这个北大的汉办主任张秀环老师就已经找我谈话了，进行了交流，而且进一步阐明这个项目的重要意义。另外，他在这个我们在培训我们的汉语老师的过程中，北大呢也是亲自派领导来参加、来指导。
In addition to developing teaching materials, the SSAT Confucius Institute also works closely with Hanban and Peking University to enable teachers from China to teach in our Confucius classrooms. Thanks to this partnership, Confucius classrooms are able to improve the provision of teaching in their own schools and to undertake outreach work in schools in their region, thus enabling the expansion of Chinese on both a regional and a national level.
We've, thanks to Hanban, been able to recruit some fantastic young teachers at this school teaching Mandarin, and they've brought a lot both culturally and educationally to the schools.
With the help from Hanban teachers, we're able to provide Mandarin lessons to more than 10 primary schools and some secondary schools locally. And the feedback has been very positive, and as a result of this, a lot more schools want to introduce Mandarin into their curriculum.
As well as providing essential support to schools in England, the Hanban teachers are able to experience new ways of teaching and share best practice in Chinese language teaching.
因为在英国里边，课堂里边学生更注重一些和老师的互动，老师更注重和学生的一些互动，所以我在这边学到一些很有效、很有趣的一些教学方法，我觉得我带回国内之后，对于我国内的教学非常有帮助。我觉得我回国内之后可能会更加把这些很好的教学资源、教学方法和我国内的一些同事一起分享。
In addition to the Hanban teacher program, the SSAT Confucius Institute is also committed to training local teachers of Chinese to ensure that all schools in England are able to offer Chinese in the curriculum.
SOAS and SSAT and both Confucius Institute were involved. Actually, we piloted a project, a training program in July, and that actually gave us a lot of feedback and experience to roll out the program in the next 3 to 5 years.
In October 2010, our Secretary of State for Education, Michael Gove, went to China, and on the back of that visit announced that he would like to see 1,000 new teachers trained in Chinese within the next 5 years. That fits in very nicely with our strategic aim that we had just decided to move into training Chinese teachers. So we're expecting and hoping that we will be able to deliver a huge number of those 1,000 teachers. In order to make this happen, we're really excited about working with the very good expertise that we have at SSAT, and particularly through Catherine Carruthers,
but all the resource and the background that SSAT bring, and working in collaboration with them to move this forward.
Over the next few years, the SSAT Confucius Institute will continue to support schools in developing the teaching and learning of Chinese and China across the curriculum. We will train local teachers, organise school partnerships and teacher exchanges through the Hanban Teacher Programme. We will also develop high-quality, localised teaching materials in collaboration with Pearson and offer valuable opportunities for teachers and learners of Chinese to develop their skills and share best practice through events such as the annual Chinese Conference, student conferences on China, leadership seminars and the annual China summer camps, which enable students to gain first-hand experience of Chinese language and culture. Through the sharing of best practice and mutual collaboration, the SSAT Confucius Institute will continue to provide a cooperative framework which will bring advantage for young people in both England and China.